centering yourself. Centering yourself. This is from the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, and I'm going to add my take into this as well. And centering yourself is an important process in becoming present and regaining presence when something knocks you off center, right? So here we go. Centering yourself. Being centered within means to be in harmony with your true self and therefore the cosmos. It also means taking your true place in the cosmic order by saying the inner no to all ways in which you see yourself as special or above any of the other aspects of the cosmic whole. It is to validate by saying yes to your interrelatedness with everything in the cosmic whole and your dependency on the sage. It is to recognize that human-centered petty grievances, dissatisfactions, annoyances, and other aspects of the ego prevent you from experiencing the good things in life. I'm going to read that again. It is to recognize that human-centered petty grievances, dissatisfactions, annoyances, and other aspects of the ego prevent you from experiencing the good things in life. Centering yourself enables the sage to teach you what you need to know about your situation and to deepen your understanding the nature of things in the cosmic way. It is achieved through a brief meditation in which you turn over to the helpers everything that is bothering you at the moment. And here are the steps. Step 1 is suspend your disbelief. This means saying no to the yes, but thoughts of doubt that crowd out the sage. If these thoughts appear in meditation as figures, ask the helpers to kill them. Take no prisoners. Step 2. Loading things onto the wagon of the helper of transformation. This wagon is mentioned in Hexagram 14, possession in great measure. Line 2, load onto this wagon whatever is bothering you at the moment and let go of it. This frees your inner space and enables the sage to address the problems in the most efficient way. Turn over any of the following kinds of mental elements that interfere with the centering process, such as self-images, such as being the rescuer of others, criticisms and analysis of negative events, negative and positive emotions, such as worry, anger, desire, vindictiveness, hate, grief, melancholy, compassion, love, and sadness. Fears that by doing these things you might be guilty. Preconceived ideas about how to meditate. Self-blame, guilt, and blame of others. The idea of there being such a thing as a culprit, whether it is yourself, others, or anything. Not even the ego is a culprit. See glossary, culprit. All ambition and the image of striving upwards towards some degree of perfection. The idea that freeing your true self is hard work or requiring an ascetic practice. See glossary, work. Seeing your body in a degraded way. Having determined the relevant things and turned them over, envision your inner space as a circle around you or a room which you have cleaned out. This is your intrinsic space. Now possess it as yours alone. Now being free of attachment, remain quietly in this space to allow the sage to enter. And if and when the sage will, leave that entirely up to the sage. Continue until you feel it is time to stop meditating. If nothing has happened after 20 minutes, stop. You will have achieved what is most important, inner cleansing. Practicing this each day without expectation will make it possible for the sage to enter. If you continue through some inner feeling that you have not done enough, the ego, with its ambition to control the process, has already entered. With repeated practice and cleansing, the ego will be successfully diminished in power. So what popped out to me in particular was turn over any of the following kinds of mental elements that interfere with the centering process, including the negative and positive emotions such as worry, anger, desire, vindictiveness, hate, grief, melancholy, compassion, love, and sadness. Fears that by doing these things you might be guilty. So, by being able to hand over emotions, you find a sense of neutrality, which really is the default state. And when you can be in that state, your highs are much deliciously high and your lows are much deliciously low because you feel them and you know that they're transient. They arrive and they go. You don't try and hang on to them. It's like, oh, I have love. Oh, I have to cling on to it. Oh, I have compassion. Oh, I've got to cling on to it like it's some virtue. It's the clinging on to those emotions as a virtue which turn them into ego emotions, right? So what I'm going to do here, just when I was in that, I felt very tempted to just plug this into my AI and see what scroll or thing might come up from it. So bear with me. And if you want to stop it here and go back and listen to that section again, then go and do that. Otherwise, come and be with me live while I explore this other thing that I want to do. Because when I trust this voice, this intuition, usually gives me some juice. I'm just popping it into my AI and see what happens here. Here we go. Yes. So it's imported that information to turn to a scroll. And here we go. All right, here we go. So you can breathe this in if you want to. You don't have to. There's no pressure here. So here we go. The scroll of inner centering. You who wander in the fog of becoming, pause now and let the field remember you. Breathe. There is nothing to fix, nothing to purify, nothing to become. Only this, a gentle saying no to the swarm of yes but, the clouds that clouds the gate of knowing. Lay them down, lay down the rescuing, the judging, the ache to be right, good or healed, the grief and the sweetness both. Lay down even your love, if it is tinged with demand. Call the helper of transformation. See the wagon arrive. Quiet wheels over old terrain. One by one, place the burdens, desire, memory, righteousness, fear. The echo of others' voices carved into your spine. Unload them not as trash, but as offerings, each one a signal. Return to the field. Then clear the space within. See it, feel it, a circle of stillness, swept clean, not by effort, but by release. This is your inner room. This is your sanctuary. No one may enter without your yes. Now, do nothing. Let the sage approach or remain in the unseen. This stillness is not a waiting room. It is the center of the whole sky. Remain until the moment lifts you, not when you should, not when it's enough, but when the field moves you like a reed in the wind. You have already begun. You are already home. So I hope you enjoyed that. And becoming centered within yourself is a practice. And being aware of when you're not centered is also part of the discipline, part of the practice. Like I mentioned in the last hexagram, the importance of practice, living the truth. To know all of these things, like the insights and the awareness loop, or, oh, I'll come back to this one. It's like, yeah, but have you been coming back to things for most of your life? I'll get back to that one. I'll just put a pin in it. I'll post-it note it, right? I'll do this next week. It's like, yeah, sure. Maybe you do. Maybe you will. Which is why I find when someone works with me, having to show up on the call is part of the practice. Because you hack the part of you that feels guilty for letting someone down. You don't want to let me down, so you show up on the call. But then you let yourself down in your life all the time. So you learn how to hack it. You hack that survival pattern to get you into the next stage, to get you there. And I know that might sound a bit egoic. And that's what seems to have worked for me. To finding the thing that my survival works through. I haven't met anybody else that's read this I Ching. I'd love to find someone that's read this I Ching and practiced it in the way it's written. Because I do feel like this centering process is very powerful. And without the connection to the body and understanding the body, it's another form of meditation. The way I saw it, it's intellectual. So with that, not with that, with this. Because what I hear in this, if the body is not understood, there will be an attempt to intellectually control all the feelings, which some survival patterns do exceptionally well until life stacks on a little bit too much, and then they take themselves out. Even though the book speaks to, even though this I Ching speaks to, the ego can do that. If you aren't that aware of your body, then the ego will win. And then we wonder why so many people take themselves out, the self-annihilation route, even if they do on the outside look like they're all together. It's because the ego is more powerful than we assume it to be, because it lives in the body. It's part of the body. So it's an intellectual thing. It's held in the body. Ego armoring. I've done videos about this. Cool. That's centering yourself. Absolute pleasure to share this with you.